For this mini project, we'll be focusing on the optimization in biodiversity conservation. Over the past few decades, there has been a significant loss in biodiversity due to accelerated rates of species extinction. This can impact the environmental, developmental, economic, and social components of sustainability. As a result, there has been a push for biodiversity conservation, the practice of protecting and preserving the wealth and variety of species, habitats, ecosystems, and genetic diversity on the planet. However, there are various optimization and resource allocation challenges due to limited conservation budgets and resources. One optimization application to tackle this problem is through the cost-benefit analysis. This method develops a prioritization solution by examining various scenarios between the coefficient of variation of the biodiversity data and the cost data. The change in cost is determined with the following formula and variables as shown on the left. This produces a cost-benefit curve illustrating the total cost percentage of the entire study region to achieve a given occupancy target. As shown with the dashed line on the graph, conservation prioritization improves the efficiency of meeting conservation targets as compared to using parcel cost alone, the solid line. Thus, the correlation between cost and benefit data and variability can maximize efficiency in spatial prioritization of land for conservation and optimize conservation budgets.
Our second optimization approach incorporates both budget constraints, including cumulative resistance costs and financial expenditures, and multi-species corridor networks. Particularly, it answers the question of how the government can implement a system of isolated protected areas for biodiversity while also taking into account multiple target species as opposed to just a single species analysis. The researchers of the study found that current approaches to connecting core conservation areas are both extremely expensive and suboptimal for multi-species objectives, rendering them ecologically poor solutions. They found that this new multi-species method, which accounts for normalization for different habitat requirements and varying budgets, would actually result in a substantial cost saving. In an experiment with grizzly bears and wolverines, for example, the approach produced corridors with within 11 and 14% of the best possible corridor connectivities and saved 75% of the cost. By reducing acquisition costs and allowing derived corridors, this method will disrupt current biodiversity conservation techniques.
The last application of optimization programming we chose to explore is one that uses a continuous optimization approach. Essentially, a bargain hunting tool, this algorithm identifies regions where conservation efforts can have the highest impact per dollar. Building on traditional spatial optimization approaches, the decision variable here is continuous, as the amount of funding allocated is not represented by a binary yes or no decision. The primary objective function shown on the slide aims to replicate the decision realities of a large conservation institution allocating funds across regional offices by considering important deal breakers such as land acquisition costs, future development patterns, budgets, and the presence of threatened species. Overall, we examined a few optimization models within biodiversity conservation. The models discussed are manifestations of computational sustainability, addressing a planetary boundary and SDG through collaboration with computer and information science tools. There are also similar exercises to the strategic planning of hydropower in the Amazon River Basin. We hope further research and innovation can stop global diversity loss. And with that, we conclude our presentation. Thank you.